This is Autoline Daily reporting on the global automotive industry. Ford reported fairly decent first quarter earnings. It sold 1.4 million vehicles worldwide, but that was down by a whopping 237,000 vehicles. Its revenue came to $40.1 billion, but that was down by $1.6 billion. EBIT came to $1.6 billion, which was down $300 million, and net income came to $1.1 billion, and that was down by $600 million. Wait a minute, you might be asking yourselves, didn't you say Ford had a fairly decent quarter? Yes, here's the catch. Wall Street was expecting that earnings would come in at 26 cents a share, but they came in at 44 cents on an adjusted basis. And there's nothing like an upside surprise to goose your stock price. In early trading, Ford was above $10 a share for the first time since last July. Tesla owners love their cars, but complain they have high insurance rates. So Tesla will offer its own insurance in another month or so. Tesla brags it has the safest cars on the road and says insurance rates should reflect that. It formed a partnership with Liberty Mutual 2 years ago to offer customers insurance, but many owners have complained that the rates are still high. It looks like Tesla agrees, and that's why it's going to launch its own insurance. Since we are pretty sure that the new rear mid-engine Vette will be quite a bit more expensive than the C7, we wondered if GM would continue building the C7 alongside the C8. Now we think we have our answer. GM announced it's adding a second shift and 400 more jobs at the Bowling Green assembly plant that makes the Vette. We're taking that to mean they're going to build both cars, because there's no way GM needs two shifts to build one model. Now, there have been rumors that Cadillac will get a sports car off the same platform, but we still think this move is about building the C7 and C8 on two shifts.
Lighter, safer, stronger, quieter, and more sustainable. Tell us where you need to go, and we'll help you get there. Dow Automotive Systems. We don't succeed unless you do.
Nissan is very unhappy with its alliance with Renault and wants an equal say in the partnership. Now it looks like the French are finally listening. Japan's Nikkei newspaper reports that Renault will propose a plan to create a joint holding company with Nissan, which would give both companies equal footing. Both automakers would nominate the same number of directors to the new company. Ordinary shares for both would be transferred on a balanced basis, and the new company would be headquartered in a third country. If Nissan is on board with the proposal, we believe the Carlos Ghosn saga is going to wrap up quickly. And here's our Autoline insight. He'll be convicted, released for time served, and then banned from Japan for life. A unique manufacturing technique that has mostly been reserved for sports cars like the GTR and Mustang GT500 is now making its way into the Nissan Altima. The cylinder walls of the Altima's 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine are undergoing a process called plasma-transferred wire arc thermal spraying. High-powered electricity is used to liquefy metal wire, which is then blown into the cylinder with a gas coating its walls up to 0.2 millimeters thick. The coating is then machined to a mirror finish with a diamond-encrusted drill bit. The process helps improve engine efficiency and eliminates the need for cylinder liners. Say, do you remember the Mitsubishi Montero? The SUV was discontinued in the US 13 years ago, but it's only now coming to the end of its life in Japan, where it's called the Pajero. And to send it off into the sunset, Mitsubishi is going to make 700 final edition models. It has a number of unique touches, but what strikes us is how much it still looks like the vehicle that left our shores all those years ago. Nikola Motor is making a name for itself with electric semis, but now it's dipping its toe into the world of water sports. The Wave, which stands for Water Adventure Vehicle, is an all-electric jet ski concept whose design was modeled after sports bikes. You'll also notice futuristic LED lighting on the front and rear and a large 12-inch 4K display screen. No word yet on battery capacity, usage time, or when it will come out, but you're able to plunk down your free reservation right now if you want to. 1,000 horsepower does not come cheap. Mopar revealed its Hellephant crate engine will cost a few dollars less than 30 grand. That's about 10 grand more than a Hellcat crate engine. And if you want the plug-and-play engine kit, which includes the wiring harness and engine computer, it's another $2,200. Pre-ordering is open now.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, your journey, our passion, and by Dow Automotive Systems, advanced materials that deliver better results.
BorgWarner is creating EV powertrains that integrate the electric motor, power electronics, and the transmission into one unit. Today, most automakers make their own engines and transmissions. But in the future, will automakers buy modules like BorgWarner's from suppliers, or will they bring that production in-house? On Autoline this week, Fred Lasalde, the CEO of BorgWarner, answers that question.
When we travel around the world and we meet car makers and discuss this topic with them, and we're so wide into proportion that they take us into strategy discussion. About a third of the people around the world saying, I'm going to make it. About a third are saying, you're going to make it, or somebody else is going to make it. And about a third saying, well, I might make some, but not maybe to understand better how to buy the system later, but I'm not sure. So our hypothesis is that to start with, and again, it's difficult to forecast, right? About 50% of the people, 50% of the market is going to be captive, and the other 50 is going to be available to us. Okay.
So that's huge business
And
opportunity.
it's still an enormous amount of business, and it's all going to be as usual, as you know, John. It's all going to be around product leadership.
You can watch that entire discussion right now on our website, autoline.tv, or you can find it on our YouTube channel. But that wraps up today's report. Happy Hemi Day. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend.
Wards is the industry leader for news, data, and analysis. That's why companies across the globe subscribe to our premium service, maybe even your own. Log in for subscriber access now. Check your company's intranet for details, and rely on wardsauto.com to keep you informed.